Studies show that language shapes how you perceive and experience the world. So what stories are your words telling you? What if the words you use every day are the reason you feel stuck? And also the key to turning your life around. Your words don't just describe your life, they literally create it. Change your words and you can change your reality. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly why your words matter and also how your words create your experience of life. I'm really passionate about this topic, and I feel that many of us just throw words around without really the conscious thought of what we're saying and what the meaning of that word is. So I actually have a tattoo which says abracadabra, and the reason I have that is because it actually means as I speak, so shall it be. And this is my reminder to be careful of my words and what I say, because our words literally, they create our reality, they create our world. And I know that's hard for many to grasp, but the easiest way I can put it is look around the room you're in. You are surrounded by other people's thoughts. People had to think about it. Then they spoke about it, maybe they even drew it, but they had to speak it into existence. And that's how powerful our words are. I mean, not only that, if anybody's watched any of my other videos, you know from my ayahuasca ceremony experience that I actually seen energy vibrating out and how powerful every word, thought, feeling and emotion was literally creating this 3D canvas of my life in front of me. But I want to try and keep this video easy to follow or easy to understand about the power of your words. So firstly, there's some things with words that we don't realize that they actually have more meanings behind them than what meets the eye. So even the word spelling, it's a spell when you're writing because the words are powerful that you're writing out. So to try and give you also a concrete example would be the word attention seeking. So imagine you're saying about your child, or if you're, I don't know, a school teacher, or you work in a hospital, any environment, if you're like, oh, they're attention seeking. So imagine the feeling in your body by the use of those words versus they are connection seeking. They need connection. Their behaviours trying to seek connection in a way that only they have the capacity of the tools that they have. Imagine how that feels in your body. Now, even though the person is doing the same thing, by changing your words, your perception, your idea of what they're doing, it can change the feeling in your body and the experience of it you're having. So that's one example. Another example could be, so in England, let's imagine there's a vase in a museum and somebody was to bend over and the back of them hit the vase and knocked it over. So in England, we actually would say they knocked the vase over. When we're saying they knocked the vase over, we're actually attributing blame to them. So our experience of that is they did this. Whereas if you go to another culture, France, they might say the vase fell over. And so they're not, by them not attributing blame, but like, oh yes, the vase has fallen over. And they're saying it in this way because it was an accident. So yes, the vase has fallen over. It takes away the blame. So can you imagine even in that tweak of language, then how that then is going to change our experience of our children or criminals and things. So another example could be, oh, my partner's so miserable. Every time they're in the house, they're always moaning. They're always unhappy. They're always just being horrible and mean to everybody. Can you imagine if you change that dialogue to, oh gosh, my partner must be going through a really hard time because they're just like never happy. And obviously if hurt people, and you're only going to be so mean if you're not feeling so great yourself. Oh, I wonder how I can help them. So if you're changing your perception and you're changing your dialogue on how you interpret and what you say about that situation, can you see how that can change your experience of it? I'll give you another example. Oh, a child's so frustrating. They're going through their terrible twos. They're always knocking things down to get a reaction from me, or manipulating me, doing this, knowing that I'm going to do that. Can you imagine if you change that to, oh my goodness, my child is going through the terrific twos and they're like this little scientist explorer where they have this hypothesis, oh, if I knock this down, if I throw this down, is mum going to pick it up? Oh, she did. Shall I do that again? Oh, yeah, she picked it up. It's so amazing to be able to see them doing trial and error and trying all of this. So can you see, by tweaking your dialogue, by tweaking your language, the words that you choose, the way that you choose to see a situation, on how it can completely change your experience of what's going on? So when you start to realize and grasp that the words that you choose to describe experiences can literally change your experience round of how you're experiencing it, it is very freeing. And it's like everything can remain the same, but you changing this and this can completely turn your life around. But I just want to be very clear. This doesn't mean that if you are in a abusive or toxic relationship that you stay. I do think you can have the understanding about that their behaviour, they're obviously, have damage and unhealed parts of themselves and stuff. And you can have that empathy and love, and you can give them that forgiveness, which I do think is important for you. But that doesn't mean you leave yourself staying in any toxic situations and environments. It is very important to have those boundaries. So I just want to be very clear on that. I just personally feel from my own experience that when you realize that you can change your experience, which then you can change and can control the narrative that goes on up here and what comes out here, and shifting that focus, you actually can change and actually have a better life, a much happier life, where you're feeling more at peace and more at balance, and just realizing that you actually have more control of your experience of life than you realized. Please share. What's your story? Or is there anything particular that you've realised in listening to this where you might have had repetitive things either saying about your partner or your children or yourself or a co-worker that you've realised, oh, actually, if I tweak it to this, or if I understand this and then tweak it to this, this is going to be a better experience. Because I do believe in sharing. We can all help one another. And that's why I do these videos, is because I just wanted to share the things that have helped me and get to feeling like 10 plus and floating amongst the stars literally every day. And so, sharing is caring. Thank you so much, and so much love and blessings. Bye.